What's up, guys? Justin here with a pickups video for you, and we're still kind of in like the slower months of the year up here, at least as far as video game hunting goes, but I've actually been picking up stuff pretty consistently. It's just been, one thing at a time as opposed to a bunch of stuff all at once. So everything I'm going to show in this video is stuff I've accumulated over the past couple weeks or so, and I've actually got a decent amount of stuff to show, so I'm going to get right into it here. I'll start out with some Goodwill finds. And this first one here is a Sega Genesis game. It's been quite some time since I've purchased a Sega Genesis game from the local Goodwill. And this is one that I really don't intend on keeping and probably would have passed up, but I happened to look it up on my phone while I was there and saw that it was a little more on the uncommon side, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up. It's Pele 2 World Tournament Soccer, and the spine of it here is almost completely sun-faded. But other than that, it's in pretty good shape, and it came with what I have to assume is everything that came with it originally, because I don't think you could cram another piece of paper in here. But here's the box and the cart there, and then manual and the registration card. And this, which I thought was really intriguing, it's an advertisement for Seagram's. So you got Seagram's there with a bunch of pictures of Genesis games, and it's got a bunch of really old Seagram's coupons, which I didn't even realize it was legal to advertise this in a video game, but I thought that was kind of funny. And I only got charged $1.99 for that, actually. I think normally they would have charged me $3.99, which I didn't really want to pay, but the guy at the register just said $1.99, so who am I to argue with that, right? So I grabbed that, and then I think I went back a couple days later, and they had put out just a couple GameCube games. I remember I passed up on like a SpongeBob Greatest Player's Choice game it was beat up and missing the manual and stuff, but I picked up this one, Pac-Man World 2, which was kind of coincidental because I think it was our last video. I picked up the Player's Choice, so the Pac-Man World 2 and Pac-Man Versus, I think. I can see the game up on my shelf because it's the only Player's Choice game I have, and yes, it does irritate me, but I think that one was Pac-Man Versus and Pac-Man World 2, so I got this one now, and it came complete and in pretty good shape, so I went ahead and grabbed that. I think they did charge me $3.99 for that one. So that was all for the Goodwill pickups, I believe. I'll move on next to a real quick St. Vincent de Paul find. Another GameCube game, actually, Ghost Recon 2. And this had been sitting there, and the way they package up their games at the Vinnies makes it really inconvenient. They put them in plastic bags, and they like staple them shut with the price on them and stuff. So in order to even see if the game's complete, or to even see if the right game is in the case, you have to kind of tear it apart and stuff. And I could see that this one didn't have the manual. But I actually waited until student discount day, told myself that it was still there. If it was still there, I'd go ahead and pick it up. So I grabbed this on student discount day. I think it ended up being like $2 with my discount. So grab that one. And then moving on to some eBay purchases, actually. This first one is a Super Nintendo cartridge that I kind of just, it was kind of like an impulse buy, honestly. I saw it, it was cheap, it was ending soon, I threw in a bid and won. It's a Super Widget for the Super Nintendo. I just thought it was cool. It's an Atlas title. I don't know how many other Atlas games are on the Super Nintendo, but I just thought it looked like a pretty cool game. It was one I didn't have yet. I think I paid like $5 for it with free shipping, so cool to grab that one. And then moving on to a couple of 360 games, I went ahead and picked up Star Ocean: The Last Hope. This is one that I think Ryan had this one, and I'd seen it at his place. I was like, I gotta grab that one. Square Enix title. It came complete and in really nice shape. It's actually got 3 discs, and they are all in here and all in really nice shape. And I got this for really good. I got this for a steal. I think I won the auction for like $2 and some change, I think. And I paid more than that for shipping, but it ended up being like $7 or $8 shipped, which I thought was a excellent deal for this. So happy to grab that. And then I went ahead and picked this up too. It's Enchanted Arms for the 360. I'd originally seen this at our local game store and didn't even realize that it came in this little slipcover, or at least it did originally, with this. It says limited edition graphic novel in here as well, which is pretty cool. It's actually printed backwards, which I think is like a Japanese thing. I've seen other like Japanese comics and stuff that look like this. It's not in color or anything like that, but it's still pretty cool. So here's the game here, which came complete. The disc is in really nice shape. I think this outer slipcover though might have got a little bit damaged in shipping. It was actually packaged decently well, so I don't know what happened, but it's a little bit crushed on the side here. Got a little bit of folding down here on one of these corners, but it's not a big deal. I think it was actually a buy it now of like $6.99 or something like that. So after shipping it was about $10. So I'm not going to complain too much about that. But this one looks like a pretty cool game, so be trying that one out. And then another 360 game, actually I grabbed this one from our local GameStop though, because oddly enough, there's certain games like that where actually GameStop sells them cheaper than what they're going for on eBay, and that happened to be the case with this one here. Nier, I believe, is how you pronounce it. I wanted to pick it up because it is a Square Enix title. I really don't know a whole lot about it, but GameStop sells this game for $9.99, I believe, and on eBay I think it goes upwards of 20, almost double that. So I decided to just hold out until our local GameStop had a copy, and I went up there and picked it up for $9.99. So it's cool to get that one. And then moving on to a Craigslist deal. This one kind of has a little bit of a story to go with it anyway. I'd originally seen this guy had posted up a stack of PS2 and a stack of PS1 games, and he was asking $5 a piece on the games, or he said $40 for all of them. And I think he had like upwards of 20 games, so it was kind of like an all or nothing kind of thing. And I messaged him right away and asked about like completeness and condition and stuff, and he messaged me back, and just based on what he said, I could tell that they really weren't in good shape, and it really wasn't going to be a good deal for 40 bucks. So I just kind of ignored it. However, a couple days later, I saw the same post come up from the same guy, and this time he was only asking 20 bucks for the entire lot. And for that price, it was definitely worth it. So I messaged him again. I said, hey, sorry for the late reply and stuff. If you're only asking 20 bucks for him, I'll gladly do that. And we met up the next day and got the deal done. So I actually made up pretty well with these PlayStation games. I'll go ahead and show the PS2 games first. The first one here is Blood Rain, and that one came complete. I'd say like half these games are complete. I think half of them are missing the manuals. But all the discs are in decent shape. They all have some kind of scratching on them, but they all look like they should play, so I'm not too concerned about it. We got Blood Rain 2 as well. This one feels complete. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. This one also feels pretty heavy and complete. We got The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King here. This one's a little more beat up, and no manual on that one. This one is actually just in a blank case, but it is the unveiling. Oh, The Bouncer, which when he told me he had this game, I didn't even realize it was a Squaresoft title. I don't know much about it. Kind of wish it was complete, obviously, but that was a cool one to see. I've never actually seen that game before. We got GTA Vice City complete, and I think it has a poster in here too. Nice. Which you can tell was hung up because it's still got really, really old tape on it, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape. This one here was honestly probably the coolest game I got in the lot. It's not one I've ever even seen before. Guilty Gear XX. I think this is Accent Core, yeah. So I was really excited to see this one was actually complete and in really nice shape. I really don't know anything about the Guilty Gear series. It looks like a tournament fighter from the back. It looks pretty cool though, so glad to get that one. Devil May Cry 2, which also feels pretty complete, and actually has, let's see, what is this? Disc 1 and, I guess it's a double disc game, didn't even realize that, but they're both in there. Good shape. We got Return to Castle Wolfenstein. That one was complete as well. Sticker on the manual, but looks like it was a former rental, but it looks like it's in decent shape anyway. Scarface, The World Is Yours. It's another one that I've never really seen before. I guess more of these were complete than I thought. That was cool. Mortal Kombat Deception. Still looking for this one on, I think they made this one for the GameCube. I've been looking out for that one. And then the last PS2 game I got with the deal was Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelist of the Roses. And I think this one was missing. Yeah, no manual on that one. So even 20 bucks for that stack of games would have been a good deal, but I still got the PlayStation 1 games here to show. There's not as many of these, but we got Gran Turismo Greatest Hits, which actually has the disc for Crash Team Racing in it instead. This, which I have no idea why this is even in here, Josh #1 Studio. That obviously was a mistake. So I don't know if it's like an audio CD or what, but maybe I'll find out after this video. We got Resident Evil 2 Greatest Hits. This one, which I thought was, I might actually hang on to this one. It's a collector's edition of GTA 2. I have GTA 1 for the PlayStation 1. I don't know if this, I'm assuming it might have came as like part of a, maybe like a trilogy or something, like the first 3. I'm not 100% sure if it had anything else that came with it. If it didn't, I'll definitely hang on to it. Otherwise, I'll probably try to find whatever this originally came with. Twisted Metal 3, and I think this one actually has the wrong disc in it. It's got the Twisted Metal 4 disc in there. We got a disc only, disc in case for Spec Ops Airborne Commando. And we also got Resident Evil Director's Cut. Unfortunately, missing a manual on that one, and its greatest hits. And then the best PlayStation 1 game I got was The Legend of Dragoon. And awesome enough, this was the one that was in easily the best condition out of all of them. I was like, there's no way this is going to have all 3 discs in it. But sure enough, all 3 are in there in the manual. And these are actually all the discs are in like mint shape. So that was pretty cool. And again, $20 for that, you know, both stacks of games there, the PS2 and the PS1 games, was ended up being a phenomenal deal. Might have even been a good deal for $40 had I been able to see everything. But just like I said, based on his response to my initial email, it didn't look like it was going to be a good deal. But ended up with it anyway, so that was cool. So moving on to the very last thing that I have to show for this video, and this is definitely one of the bigger purchases that I made in quite some time. This is something that I knew I was going to end up with eventually. I knew I was going to buy it eventually. It was just a matter of how long. I didn't think it was going to be this soon, but I was kind of just watching a few of them on my eBay, just to kind of get like a price point on where I should be at with it, and basically just ended up pulling the trigger on one of the ones that I saw because I couldn't wait. But I went ahead and picked up the collector's edition of Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'm very, very happy to have this. I know I'm not much of a modern gamer, but realistically, GTA 5 was one of like the better video games that I've ever played in my life. I had so much fun with this, and I definitely anticipate myself playing through it, you know, multiple more times in the future, which is one of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and get this. So I guess the story behind it was, like I said, I was watching it on my eBay. This one had a starting bid of $100, and the seller was actually from Lower Michigan, so shipping was only like $10. It was listed as brand new, never opened. But before I even thought about bidding on it, I messaged the seller and I said, "Hey, look, you know, you listed this as brand new. Like, has this been opened? Is it still factory sealed?" And he messaged me back and said, "Nope, brand new, never opened." So I was watching it, obviously waiting for people to start bidding on it, and no one started bidding on it. So I threw in a bid with like a couple seconds left and ended up being the only bidder on it for $100 plus the shipping, which I was really concerned about even still, because I've seen just the DLC card alone sell for considerably more than that. So I was very, very happy to get it for that price. That's definitely under what it was new. I didn't think I was going to be able to get one for under $150. So very, very happy with this. I did open this though, right when it came in, not because I wanted to make sure everything was in there. I mean, it was nice to be reassured, but I knew I was going to end up opening this anyway. I definitely wanted to show all the stuff that comes with it in a video. So I went ahead and opened it beforehand and took everything out so it's a little bit easier to show. I was actually going to do make this its own video, but I figured it was released back in September of last year, so no one's gonna care anymore what it comes with, so I just throw it in this video. But it comes in, yeah, a nice box here, and first thing in here is my Los Santos, I think it's a New Era hat in this plastic display box here, so that's pretty cool. But honestly, the coolest part about this collector's edition, at least in my opinion, is this GTA 5 money bag here, lockable money bag. And this ended up being a lot bigger and a lot higher quality than I thought it was going to be. When I first picked this up, I was like, wow, I mean, like, this locking mechanism up here and stuff is really heavy duty. Obviously, I'm you know, not anticipating using this to put my money in. Actually, I think I'm going to put all like my YouTube notes and everything that I get from you guys in here, just so I can have everything, you know, kind of in one place. But I thought that was really cool. And then also came with a steelbook case of the game as opposed to the plastic case. So, and this is actually still shrink wrapped, so I probably won't open this until I actually decide to play through the game again. But it was really cool that it comes in this steelbook case. And then there's this in here as well, which I know it's like a blueprint map, but honestly I'm not 100% sure what exactly it is, and if I unfold it, I'm never going to get that folded back together, right? So I'll leave it like it is. And then also down here is the my DLC card, which like I said, I've seen just this card alone sell for over $100, so I was really surprised that I got such a good deal on all this stuff. But yeah, very, very happy to say that I finally own this. I'll be able to flip actually my loose copy of the game now and get some of my money back, in addition to getting a great deal on this. This box actually is a little bit flimsy, if you can kind of tell just by me handling it. So a couple of the corners here, you can see they got a little bit dinged up. I don't know if that happened in shipping or if that's just the way it was before the seller sent it, but I'm not too concerned about that for the price I got it for. Like I said, I really can't complain. So very happy to say that I'm the proud owner of the GTA 5 Collector's Edition now, and very happy that I decided to open it. You know, I have sealed limited collector's editions over there on the shelf that I like. You know, I keep those sealed because I think, you know, I like having them on the shelf sealed. But something like this, I'm very glad that I bought to open it, because it's something that I want to experience again and again. One of my favorite games of all time. So anyway, that was all I had to show for the video. I want to thank you guys for sticking around and checking out the whole thing. And until next time, take care.